is the season to have arguments with loved ones and consume until movement becomes impossible. And with that comes a festive edition of your favourite gaming podcast. It's Merry Game Fire, or Ready Game Fire, with Merry at the front of it. I am your host, Chris Fox, and with me is game designer of tomorrow and bitch of Pac-Man today, Jamie Rathbone.
You alright?
And the man who was so bored after platinum-ing Fallout 3 on his PS3 that he chose to chase away his boredom by 100%ing Fallout 3 on his Xbox 360. It's James McNerney.
Alright, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Are you playing Fallout at the moment in any way, shape, or form, under the table or anything? Have you got?
No, not right now. No, I thought I'd give it a break for 5 minutes.
Can I just say now we're going to be referring to James McNerney at Mac all the way through, just because that's what his name is.
Yeah, he's known as Mac just because there's a Jamie and there's a James. Might get confusing, and that honey in your ear that you just heard is the father of the Little Big Planet level entitled, what's it called?
The battle wages on and on and on and on.
It's Stephen Edwards.
Hello.
So yeah, this is Christmas edition of Ready Game Fire. We actually made it to 4 episodes, just about. If you've been listening since episode 1, this goes out to all 2 of you. Thanks very much. Thanks for the input and support and donations.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait a minute. There haven't been any donations yet. So yeah, we're kicking off with the soon-to-be axed feature. What have you been playing? I'd like to move directly on to Mac. Some iteration of Fallout, I imagine.
It will be indeed, actually. Funnily enough, it will be Fallout New Vegas.
Like catnip to him.
It's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Big improvement over the first one, or shall I say third one. And, well...
Now, we have already touched on New Vegas and
really?
all of the game-ending bugs present within it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Mine's
really?
only crashed about 6 times, so...
Detract from
I'm
the
happy.
experience, though. All in all.
How many times did Sonic the Hedgehog 2 crash on you? Back in the day?
It depends how many times I move my Mega Drive.
Or sort of coughed anywhere near it?
Well, if you didn't blow the cartridge...
Yeah, exactly. Then you couldn't play the game.
You've got to shift that dust away and replace it with spittle and germs, and that always made it work.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. Bringing the electrons together with the... What else have you been playing, Mac?
And a little bit of Scott Pilgrim, actually. Went back to that recently.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah, shame about the rest of the game, but...
Oh!
Why play that
It's
when
great
you've
in
got
co-op. Well, it's great in co-op anyway, Scott Pilgrim.
It is. It's so similar to Castle Crashers. How can you love one and not enjoy the others, Steve?
Because Castle Crashers is so much more joyous than Scott Pilgrim.
It's got a lot more shitting animals in it.
A lot more shitting animals. It's got
More collectible animals.
more adorable characters to play as, and it looks better. Scott Pilgrim's
Well, the
going for
sprites are pretty good in Scott
that. It's just
Pilgrim.
going for that retro look that Castle Crashers thinks, no, let's have beautiful HD cards.
Let's look at a Flash game instead. Let's do
It
that.
is quite flashy.
It's feeling a lot of Castle Crashers hatred
Nice.
towards you.
Great game.
We have to
Saying.
balance it out because of all that
Yeah,
ridiculous
exactly.
love from episode 1. But of course, listeners, you know what I'm talking about. You've been listening to all 4, haven't you? Yeah. What else have you been playing? Or is that you done?
Pretty
Should I
much
stick a
done.
fork in you?
Yep, good to go.
Right, sweet. Steve, yeah, like what you been playing and shit?
Well, since I was last on this
Gonna cut that.
incredible show, I bought an Xbox 360.
Zoot alors.
Yeah.
It's taking the plunge.
Big moment.
Shiny.
Bought F1 with it. First mistake I made because,
Whoa.
well, at the place I work, everyone was involved in this amazing F1 league. It's like, oh, everyone's coming every day saying, oh, it's fantastic. We're like, oh, this guy got crashed off here and stuff. I'm like, oh, this sounds really good. I'll get this. And then day I get it, I think Black Ops came out like a week earlier, and since then, not a single race online. I haven't had one opportunity to play it.
Do you really think that's because Black Ops came out?
It might be because no one wants to play with Ed McTavish. It's a sad,
Look
state of affairs.
at this guy. He's gone out and bought an Xbox, just desperately trying to win our friendship. And it's Max of desperation, and they've driven far away from you.
Fortunately, though, got Super Meat Boy at the same time, and that
Gorgeous and hard.
Made up
gorgeous
for
and
it.
hard. I think it was mentioned a few. I'd also like to say it's quite long
Carts.
as well. So it's gorgeous, hard, and long as
Brilliant.
well.
Everything you look for in a
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Steve, is there anything else you want to tell us that you've been playing?
Well, my little rest from Gran Turismo has been Pac-Man, which is just brilliant, and I was enjoying it, and then Jamie here started sort of taunting me with his top scores. Since then,
what was the top score?
his top score. Well, I was like, I said, "Oh, my top score's 1.3 million." So is that it?
This is the
Shot me down straight away.
Championship 2 level.
Yeah, this is the big one.
One we're focusing on.
And so this last weekend, I sort of hid myself in my room, didn't really get changed ever, and just spent the entire weekend desperately trying to beat Jamie's level. And now my top score is a cool at 1.81 million.
That's pretty good.
So I've set the bar.
Just as it happens, I've got well, what most people call a life, so I haven't got a chance to hit back at that one.
Is that your excuse for not being able to beat my high score?
You
14 billion.
Oh,
I just like to
good
use
numbers.
a classic line. I mean, so got a life. Huh? Pac-Man Expert, you start with 2 lives, so.
That's
you
true.
it's the classic fallback, isn't it? When someone's beating you at the games. Well, yeah, I was getting some fresh air at the time, running around.
Well, in all seriousness, I've got 2 jobs and your university course.
Oh,
and
cry me a rhythm,
I got
Rathbone.
a
Seriously,
long-term
mate.
relationship and the
There's your
need to
first
eat.
mistake.
And
Pac-Man is a 5-minute game.
Yeah,
It's a 5-minute game.
It's repeated plays to sort of get to the. Like you say, you were in all weekend, was it?
A little bit Friday as well.
For Friday as
Yeah,
well.
so.
But I'll get back on it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll section out a bit of mine.
We'll see
Busy
where we
schedule.
are come New Year's. See who's sitting atop their leaderboards.
Yeah, all right. That's like the challenge, is it?
That's
that
the challenge.
sounds like a challenge to me.
So, read
1st of
what
January,
you
yeah.
want.
Who's in the lead?
What would be
Yep.
fantastic is to have cross-platform leaderboards because, obviously this happened with many other games, but specifically with Pac-Man, it's been brought to my attention that a lot of people have got it on Xbox and I've got it on PlayStation, and I'd very much like to compare. First game that does that will get a golden Ready Game Fire sticker to stick on the front of their box.
Absolutely.
We're doing it through just sort of word of mouth, aren't we, at the minute?
And
Writing it down on a bit of paper.
Old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Trust.
Trust, yeah.
That's the main one here.
Okay, nice, Steve. You've been playing games for a change
Yeah,
this week.
yeah, it's been a twist.
Jamie Rathbone, you've been playing a very interesting game this week. What is it?
It's a game where you play as it's a parenting game.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, tell me more. I
it's a
Connectimals.
The Sims?
Well, similar, bit of a twist. You're playing as an octopus, trying not to be discovered. Basically, it's Octodad. It's a good little game.
That old story arc. Yeah,
It's a classic. It's a classic.
It's the best trailer I've ever seen, I've got to say.
It's a brilliant trailer, yeah.
Can I just say, if you want to check out this trailer, and I recommend you do, you can also play the game online. Go to octodadgame.com. That's octodadgame.com to check out one of the most brilliant original IPs I've seen in a long time, Rathbone.
Completely free. Made by university students, so all about that.
When they're not protesting, they're making bloody great octopus-related parenting games.
But yeah, the idea is that the control is the sort of challenge. So it's ridiculously hard to control. You're sort of dragging yourself around using the mouse, and then you have to do menial household tasks, sort of mopping up, and obviously the control makes it almost unbearably hard.
What was the mission you told me about earlier with your son?
Yeah, you have to score a goal. Your son moving back and forth in front of a cardboard box. I spent about a good 10 minutes just flailing limbs trying to work that one in there. Playing Jenga's a good one. You just flail over the Jenga; it just goes everywhere.
You see a lot of this stuff in the trailer, and yeah, it's. I've showed it to some non-gamers. They didn't really get it, but if you like games and you like octopi, I suppose you're gonna love this.
And it's some like brilliant humour in there as well. Like you have to clean out the fridge. One of the missions. You open the fridge. Just inside the fridge is a can opener in a can. What? I thought it was hilarious.
But that's all. Oh man!
Thank God he's got like suckers on his hand.
Exactly, yeah.
Get that off in no time.
Straight off.
Some things are good to be an octopus. Is there any swimming levels?
There's not. I know he's very much a fish out of water.
I love the way that it's like genuinely a human family.
And you have to not get found out by being too octopusy.
That's amazing.
Which is a great word. Yeah, aside from Octodad, I've also been playing a lot of GT5.
Yeah.
We've been getting well into that, especially the weirdly enough the photo mode has been appealing to us.
Photo mode. I mean, the kind of pics you can end up with are so close to real life.
Yeah.
It's scary in places, but it's just
It's almost indistinguishable.
fucking amazing. Although, if you want to go on YouTube and look at a comparison between the Forza AI and the GT5 AI,
Yeah.
then I welcome you to do that. You fancy a giggle?
That's where it falls down a bit.
Although most GT players won't even notice that because they're too far in the lead, you won't even notice AI behind you.
Yeah.
Other players that you've seen.
Of course, yeah.
Mac.
Not me personally. Obviously, I'm always well at the back, so I never see that.
In your classy coloured golden Ferrari.
Yep, the one and only.
God, whenever you see a car's called, the colour is golden. It's never gold, is it? It's this kind of weird, sparkly mustard shade.
Well, it's
Slightly muddy colour.
Kind of big in the 70s.
Just so I don't feel so bad when I get bronze at the end of racing. It's like,
Matches your car.
I got my gold.
Your god-awful, ugly, offensive car. Me, thanks for asking, guys. I've been playing Infinity Blade, briefly.
As most games with you.
Well, you know, I've got a podcast to run, James.
That's how it works best, briefly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way it's,
dipping it out. Look,
way it's
James,
made.
we've got James McNerney. We've got you here to talk about these massive RPGs that you play twice, and then you got me, the dip in and out guy, the quick fix, the instant gratification. So together we basically
The guy with a 5-minute attention span, basically.
The goldfish and the elephant.
yeah, Infinity Blade. If you've got an iPhone 4 and below, check it out. Looks great. Jamie Rathbone himself described it as an HD Punch Out.
Yeah.
I'd say that's fair. Except your knights and shit, and you got swords and
Swords
shields
and all that, yeah.
Any more info? Like, what have you actually got to do in the game?
You got to fight other.
Right,
fight
it's
other
like
guys.
Punch Out with knights
Right.
and stuff in HD.
Yeah, covered. That was covered.
Yeah.
James, you've got to listen.
Oh. Wait, where am I?
Second-hand news. Let's do it. All right, bam. VGAs have been announced. VGA stand for, Matt?
Video Game Awards.
Original.
So yeah, the Video Game Awards have been announced. We're going to come back to that in a second. Quick news, headlines. Bam! Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception has been announced.
Woo.
Slated for a 1st of November 2011 release. Features simultaneous multiple enemy combat and something called enhanced backwards climbing.
Oh, you never tried it? No?
Can't wait.
Climbing upside down, I think. That is.
No, I just want to interject the proceedings here with a 30-second clip from Mike Power.
Great news for all those fans of excellent franchises not being turned to Hollywood train wrecks, as rumours abound that the kind of uninteresting Uncharted movie has been put on hold, with Mark Wahlberg set to star as Nathan Drake himself and Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci as his wacky treasure collecting / dealing / scary family. I'm going to have to chalk this one up for those still waiting to have a particularly interesting opinion on this decidedly uninteresting film adaptation. It's time to get excited for Uncharted 3, the game, Drake's Deception, which has been revealed as having a November 2011 release date, with a promise of sand, sully, sexy scarves and a Lawrence of Arabia-inspired setting. I'm finding it increasingly difficult not to run into the desert myself, just to have something to do until the game comes out. Merry Game Fire and ready Game Fire!
Boom! Mass Effect 3 has been announced. Yay.
Big news. Big
Bit of
news. I'm really looking forward to
Bit of
that.
London there, bit of Big Ben.
Oh, yeah. I
Exciting.
mean, it'll be out holiday 2011, they say. Some guy online thought that the Mass Effect 3 announcement was going to be a reboot of James Bond Robocod.
Well, that's the obvious conclusion that I came to
Yeah.
when they were teasing it. I thought,
His argument was pretty convincing, though. I was nearly on board.
So wait a minute. Was it BioWare were had a big announcement and that's what they went for?
yeah.
Like interesting.
Yeah, but there were clues like
Didn't think that through.
there were clues like MI6 in there and red herring, and obviously herring's
Genius.
related to James Bond in some sort of way.
The
But
loosest sense possible, I think.
yeah,
That must have been a huge disappointment for that individual.
Yeah.
and me
Been broken
after that. After I was convinced, it was a crushing blow for me. But yeah, I mean, it involves the user's character becoming an actual shepherd. I've written here.
Interesting.
I think that was me trying to be funny. Next headline, bam! Another Ghostbusters game entitled Sanctum of Slime.
Grown.
Almost as good as Drake's Deception. Drake's World of Deception.
Drake's Sanctum of Slime. Mass Effect 3.
It was originally Welded Deceit, so Drake's Deception is a huge step up from that.
Was it really?
Yeah, well, when we first heard about it, it was supposed to be Welded Deceit, and even Mikey Power, Uncharted fan that he is, was a bit broken by that one. So Drake's Deception's like a big step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this new Ghostbusters game will not feature the original voice cast. Kind of the only thing I played the original for. You know?
Did it sell very well, the original?
I don't know.
It didn't play very well.
Did not?
Sure, it's
Still
fuck
haven't played
didn't
it.
play well. You go back and you watch the Ghostbusters films. They fire up their proton packs, and when they shoot the beams at the ghosties,
cross the streams.
precisely. But they're shaking furiously as they're struggling to control the beam. You fire a beam in the game, it feels like
No, not even a rumble from the pad.
The controller should be shaking like crazy as you struggle to control it. It was, and even some of the acting itself is pretty but mainly on Bill Murray's part. It sounded like he was cashing the check and was getting the job done. But
Sounds like Murray.
He's not a sequel kind of guy, so it's amazing.
Do you know what I would be interested in? If with Move, if they use Move with Ghostbusters, so
That would be good,
like
especially with the
accessory pack, put your proton pack on,
my God.
connect your Move,
Now you're talking.
and then you get the little light and whoosh,
That new
you're
gun
away.
they brought out, the sharpshooter.
Oh, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Have you
Hand
seen
in
that,
hand,
Chris?
that's a perfect fit for the...
the
Machine gun.
So we're not talking about the Move pistol. There is a submachine gun that Move slots neatly into, and made me excited in a special place. My trigger
controller
finger
as well. And the
I'm
stock.
not really pro Move, but it turns out I'm quite pro accessories for Move. So there you go.
Last week on Panorama, they covered video game addiction, which we will come back to in a second. And the final headline is: Christmas crackers are now a Class 1 firework.
You can buy them under 16 before.
What the fuck?
What does that even mean? Like, so
I didn't know there were classes of fireworks. What's that? Like,
Oh, they are now. This is the thing. Finally, Christmas crackers are now a Class 1 firework, according to the Times columnist. Under the pyrotechnic articles (brackets safety) close brackets regulations of
Brigade.
August 2010, Christmas crackers have been classed as a Category 1 firework, which means they have an age restriction of 16, and cashiers have to check the age of people buying them.
That's outrageous.
Thoughts?
It's completely outrageous.
Political correctness gone mentally ill?
Yeah, the PC Brigade all over again.
Hate it. Not happy. I know it's not gaming related news, but it's something really ground my gears this week.
I think gamers use crackers, so because everybody
Well, yeah,
uses
everyone does.
crackers, except for kids under 16.
Yeah, well, now.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get ID'd for painkillers a while back, which I thought was completely ridiculous.
You look like the sort, though.
Oh, thanks. Cheers. Cheers for that.
No problem.
But I remember buying painkillers for my mum, or whatever, Nurofen.
But my friend made me.
Segue.
Made me one of those Mr. Bean Christmas crackers the other day that appeared to be a normal cracker on the outside, but on the inside had 6 gunpowder strips.
Oh, wow.
And the end result was the same.
Machine gun. Oh, just one.
So I don't think the government should be dealing with Christmas crackers. They should be catching real crooks.
Did you get Christmas turkey stuck on your head?
Government.
At any point?
No, everything was fine. Those are the headlines. Let's discuss them now. Right, so Video Game Awards. Pretty expected results all around there, I think.
Fairly middle of the road.
Kind of awards you can predict in your sleep.
Yeah.
Not saying they weren't deserved games at all. It was just, Game of the Year, Red Dead Redemption, for example.
Kept a lot of the fanboys happy.
My personal game of the year, anyway.
Best multiplayer, Halo Reach. Studio of the Year, BioWare. Character of the Year, the unforgettable Sergeant Frank Woods from Call of Duty Black Ops.
Woodsy!
Big up Woods.
Yes, Woodsy!
Almost as good as Remember Me.
Yeah, that would have been the best.
Hold on, that was Sergeant Woods as well, wasn't it? Frank Woods?
Was it? Was it?
Was that his name from Metroid?
He's actually in every single game, that's why he's getting such a shout out. But he always looks and sounds and is called something different.
Yeah.
Without him, there is no Black Ops. So.
Sergeant
Exactly.
Frank Woods. So yeah, I mean, we're not going to get too bogged down with the Spike Video Game Awards. You can find them online anywhere. Specifically, I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. We're going to discuss our own Game of the Year thoughts and feelings later on. But jumping back to the news. We've heard from Mike, and it was great, I'm sure. Uncharted 3, there was a lot of Uncharted hate last week. I say last week, that format's out. There's a lot of hate on episode 3 towards Uncharted 3. Mainly from Dalamore. I suddenly found myself saying the words, I'm a huge Uncharted fan. I'm not a huge Uncharted fan. I really, really like Uncharted, but I didn't find it too fair the way it is getting dragged across the cobbles. Is that a phrase?
Yeah,
Well, fucking should be.
I tend to agree with you.
Frank Woods is Character of the Year, then dragged across the cobbles is a new phrase, right?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Not a overly huge fan. It's good, well polished. Doesn't deserve all the gushing.
It's a lot of fun.
on it. But Uncharted 3, don't know. Could be interesting.
That
I'll
backwards,
definitely play
that
it.
enhanced backwards climbing. What the fuck does that mean?
Revolutionise the genre.
What does that mean?
Grab people.
More Sully for your buck. is what they're going for as well, apparently.
More tash.
More tash.
More tash for your cash.
I mean, I know, Jane Mac as well. I am looking forward to it a lot.
Yep.
Although the one thing I want that hasn't been announced yet, and I was thinking this is going to make the game for me, is
No more Dead Eyes.
the whole game needs to be co-op, and if it's not, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed. And it'll just be like a big, it won't be a step forward. It's like it needs to have the whole game co-op.
Becoming a fairly standard feature.
But Uncharted
isn't
3, obviously we haven't had many announcements, but there's still no guarantee that's going to be the case. We kind of assume.
I think it's going to be the case, but it is entitled Drake's Deception. So this could be Nathan Drake pulling a fast one on us.
It's very set piecey, that game, isn't it?
He is cheeky.
It is, that's the thing.
It might not work for
And
2 players.
I don't know, but on Jimmy Fallon, the Jimmy Fallon
gaming
show,
expert that he is.
Friday night with Jimmy Fallon. I don't know what the bloody show's called, but he played some Uncharted, and it kind of looked like
He was drunk while playing it? Or?
It was set up very well for co-op.
But the previous 2 games have had that as well, where you've been running around, people helping them and stuff. And
Well, I've only really jumped on co-op bandwagon more recently because I used to go for the typical route of playing the games alone because it just felt like
In the dark,
more
crying.
immersive. Well, yeah. And that was before I turned the game on. But then, no, I'd say it's a fair bet to say it's probably going to be co-op in there, at least. Hopefully the whole way through, but at least more maps than we had in number 2.
yeah,
You
I
know,
think pretty much every big Nintendo game coming out at the minute is shoehorning the co-op in there, isn't it?
yeah, I like that though. It's
I remember when co-op used to be called 2-player.
Yeah, exactly.
split screen.
it's true. Yeah.
Carry on.
But yeah, as long as it ends up more fun than Gears of War, then I'm more than happy for it.
Controversial.
What game can have more shaky cam?
That's true.
Oh, that's what
Lynch.
I'm interested in.
Kane Lynch has some dodgy camera work in there.
Dodgy everything.
Yeah,
Kane Lynch.
Kane Lynch is shit.
dodgy main characters.
And I don't usually make those ignorant statements,
Not ignorant,
but
well
Kane and
informed.
Lynch can fuck. Are they actually is that film going ahead?
Yes, it is.
Who wants to see that?
The script's done.
They are
Bruce
the
Willis
two most unsympathetic characters ever portrayed.
Who's playing
in
them?
Anything ever. Jamie Foxx and Bruce Willis.
and Bruce Willis.
What a waste.
So they've gone with the
You get them
classic
to the film.
formula.
Give me money.
If you look it up online,
I
actually,
just-
you get a snippet of the script, and it looks horrendous so far. So staying true to the game at least.
I'd love to meet someone who's like a fanboy of these games because they're
Kane and Lynch-
so bad.
Kane
And
and Lynch t-shirts.
the trailers, like the adverts on telly, made it look the least enjoyable game that's ever been released. And I can't imagine someone who's like, oh yeah, been a fan since the start, and you know, this is my series, this is my Mario. I can't see it. I can't. But someone has to.
Kane and Lynch.
Someone in the world must
Slammed.
be.
Well, it's a lot of people criticise modern games for looking, like Modern Warfare specifically, grey, greenish, like
Yeah.
beige, kind of just everything looks really dull. And Kane and Lynch took that to a whole new level and sort of siphoned out the fun as well. Okay, let's keep it thick and fast. Moving on to Mass Effect 3. Takes place in Big Ben. Holla.
Holla. Indeed.
Just going to say right now before we go, I'm currently playing the first one. Haven't played the second one.
3 years
So
later.
I refuse to watch the trailer. So you guys take it away.
You might want to cover your ears and just go blah 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 blah.
I'll
Block out
say
any
they're doing
spoilers
that.
we might.
No, I'm not actually going to do that.
On that note, I'm going to start with the ending of number 2. Don't you just think, no, I won't
You
do that to
Whoa.
you.
You jerk.
Okay, the laughs never stop. in
Skip
this
the
house,
heartbeat
do they?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually take place in Big Ben, Chris. Big Ben is the bell, not the
Well,
tower.
for those who haven't seen it,
Brilliant.
all right. So for those who haven't seen it, it opens up. Some guy is sitting in St. Stephen's Tower. Prick.
Better.
And then it pulls out, and it's Earth and Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect on Earth, and you're like, when is Mass Effect Shepard gonna show up and save the day?
Generic shepherd.
That's the name of my shepherd, by the way. Mass
Well,
Effect Shepherds.
without spoiling it, obviously, you get the impression from number 1 all hell's going to break loose pretty swiftly, and you notice that in number 2, so this one is going to be absolutely amazing.
And yeah, the other thing we talked about was a new Ghostbusters game.
Actually, I'm going to have to intercept there, because I think it's already horrific that you gave as much airtime as you did, without mentioning Elder Scrolls 5.
Oh yeah, and Elder Scrolls 5.
Clearly,
is,
I'm much
uh,
more excited about
a
that.
little game
coming
called
out.
the President has also been assassinated, but more on that news later.
Unbelievable. No, Elder Scrolls 5 is going to be absolutely amazing. Anyone who's played even like Morrowind, maybe, that's probably the peak of the whole series, but Oblivion? No?
Yeah,
Just me?
Oblivion's great.
I
Oblivion,
had a go. My Oblivion experience was just ruined by the fact that I tried to get it, but my PC was never ever good enough for it. And it just
Oblivion is
that's the sign of a good game. That your PC has to be upgraded for it. But
the reason I bought an Xbox. Oblivion.
It's the reason I play on consoles.
there you go.
it's going to be great. Anyway, a new engine as well. Apparently coming out in November, but I think it's safe to say it's going to get delayed.
Yeah. trailer doesn't give much away for that one.
So, for those who didn't see last week's panorama, this week being the 14th of December, last week's panorama touched on video games being a little bit addictive,
Bit Moorish.
a little bit crack-like. Like sometimes I just open up the Mass Effect manual and just dab it on my gums before I head out.
I know I've ground up a few discs or two in my time and snorted them.
What do you mean?
Hooker's arse. Sorry.
What does that mean? What's that?
Sorry, I forgot.
Oh dear.
Have you been putting UMDs in your nose?
Yeah, well.
Not just UMDs.
First step is admitting you've got a problem. I'm past that now.
Yeah.
I'm through it.
He's embracing the problem. Enjoying the
So
problem.
this is a very real thing.
Living
I'm
through your
touching
problem.
On that note, though, I'm gonna jump in and say I admit that I take the new manuals out of the box and I sniff the pages.
Oh, that's
a nice new feel to
That's
it.
great, innit?
That's different though. That's not video game related. That's new smell.
Okay.
That's enjoying a new smell. Everyone loves
So
that.
I'm not weird then, though.
It's a bit weird to come out and say it in such a kind of enthusiastic, wibbly form.
Okay.
It is
Do you need me to get you a
on a
towel?
life little
A
pleasure.
little bit, yeah.
But I mean, as predicted, the cretins they used on this particular documentary were fat, unsociable,
It was a shocker.
idiots, morons. Do I need another adjective?
Well, they look a bit like us four. I suppose.
What about the people they actually interviewed on the show? What about those? What they look like?
That was the people interviewed on the show.
Oh dear.
Well, they gave about 5 minutes to the games industry and UKIE and Ken Livingstone from IDOS. They got about 5 minutes, and then they spent 25 minutes
But those guys,
sort of talking to some questionable scientists.
they were the only ones with like cohesive arguments and stuff. Like they'd be shucking all this like dribble at them about like how games are definitely addictive and stuff. They'd have no facts to back it up, and then the devs and stuff would just be like, well, it's usually more based on the individual. And then they haven't really got an argument against that because
Exactly.
it's the case. But
it's the same with anything though.
It really is.
Like, addictive personality. Play something that's it's made World of Warcraft. It's built to last. It's built to get the money out of you. It's a carrot on a stick sort of game design.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've got an addictive personality, then don't mix the two.
The particular case that springs to mind is when that guy's internet went down. 2 seconds into that period, he's getting the cold sweats, and 5 seconds into that period, he's smashing up his home. Hulk smash!
It's probably best that his internet went down.
And the advice offered at the climax of the show was to put down the controller, where you're not being a danger to anyone but your sad, pathetic, lonely self. Go out in the streets, get pissed, and smash it up out there. What kind of a message is that to end the show?
The exact term was "get smashed," which sort of suggests all kinds of things.
Exactly.
If it's have a drink, then okay, we'd forgive it. But get smashed,
Well, the whole thing just had this sort of condescending tone about it, didn't it?
It
Sort
did.
of like, go out in the real world and have a real career, real friends, or social life.
I hate to say it to sound condescending, but for those people who were depicted in the show as being completely addicted, just introduce them to some women, and they'll be like, "Oh right, okay, fair enough. So this is a pastime. This thing that I've been smashing my house up over."
We get some people meet on these games as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Certain individuals I've worked with before have
that's
actually got
it.
married thanks to meeting each other in video games.
they
that's
don't cover
true.
that side of it. They don't cover
No, of course
the
not.
good stories.
I go the opposite way.
The fact that 99.9% of gamers are regular people who recognise it as interactive media to be enjoyed and not.
Sane, stable, sort of normal people.
I mean, don't get me wrong, listeners. We are not putting ourselves
Oh, yeah.
up on that pedestal.
very much in the 0.1% this table. But
Yeah, like you're saying, I go the other way with World of Warcraft.
Oh, the internet's gone down! Ah!
It's like I was saying, I go the other way with World of Warcraft, and it's my breakup game.
this is very touching, isn't it?
For
Whenever I'm
God's
not in a
sake.
relationship, it's the one I fall back on. And as soon as I meet the faintest whiff of a female, I dump that like a
Goes away.
because I love shagging birds.
Oh, typical.
Another favourite part of the show was when the interviewer was got a camera in the face of a guy. He's trying to kill some boars, do a bit of grinding, and he's right in the guy's face, going, "You seem annoyed that I'm right in your face and poking you in the arm. Does that annoy you when you try to play?"
Are you annoyed?
And he's going, yeah, it's annoying me a bit. I didn't think you'd still be here. This is my time now, and you're eating into it.
I just like the way it would have been set up as in like, oh yeah, we'll come around for an interview, and he just sat there and says, "How about you? Why don't you put on the game there? Why don't you put on the game whilst we interview?" He says, "Well, the interview would be a lot better if I'm just sitting here chatting to you." No, get the game on and see how it goes. But it's quite a, time-consuming game. It's multiplayer. I suffer if I
what
don't play
concentration?
well. No, just put it on, and then it's just a wind-up, isn't it? Really? It's,
Well, clearly-
at no point
Clearly
is
off,
that a good thing.
clearly off camera, they've got the producer slapping the guy around the back of the head every 2 minutes. Oh my god.
Chris did, raise a good point. It's like anything. Like you go, oh, this guy reads a lot. Just have a read. I'm flicking the pages. I'm putting my hand in front of your eyes. Oh, is that annoying you? Can you not do the interview? Well, you told me to read, and this is trying to interview
This
me.
book seems to be making you agitated.
There's hold on, who's this guy who's reading a lot? Do you think we should maybe perform some sort of intervention? I'm just saying, I've been made aware of video game addiction, and I'm all the better for it. Who's this guy who's reading all the time? Stop him.
If someone turns out lights, he just tears out the pages when he goes mad.
Ah!
I can't read the book.
The library's closed because of the snow.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go out and get smashed now.
Yeah. It's the answer.
So yeah, guys, put down the controller, step outside, drink some vodka on the street, and headbutt someone.
Chris, I just got some more news for you.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Is this the return of Steve Edwards' patch notes?
Yep.
You've got some fans of this feature now, haven't you?
Yep. Mark Dallimore and Nick Deering Strip Fen from last time's episode took a bit of offence to what I said.
They took offence to your delivery of the news for patch people.
Just fact. They got annoyed with fact.
Yeah.
But this week we are covering a sequel of one of the sleeper hits of 2009. This game is Farm Simulator 2011.
Oh, who hasn't played that?
It's a classic. It's on Steam.
The
now.
Wurzels love
And
it.
there's been a new patch notes in update 2.0. These updates include fixed sync issues with the Baylor in multiplayer.
It's about time.
There's more, guys. There's more. There's a lot more. These are just some ones I picked out that I thought were good for the Farm Simulator community. We've got improved visual quality of cow animations. They fixed the rare issue with combine unloading that used to occur. And finally, another one, last one I'm going to have for you. The shovel level is shown in the fill level bar as well now. So that's just everything. It is, but it's all there. It's all news. Mac, got any reactions to that?
Sorry, I was a bit distracted. I just bought myself a copy of Play.com actually.
Good man.
Where is this game available? Farm Simulator, what is it? Farm Simulator.
Steam.com, of course, they're obviously aiming for the market who are addicted to Farmville. Therefore, what people clearly love was farming.
Yep.
So they've gone for a sort of more realistic.
I've decided to drop Harvest Moon, and I'm going for this.
If you love GT5 and Farmville, hello.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a festive edition of Ready Game Fire. So has anyone got any... Well, I mean, before I ask people about their fond Christmas gaming memories, just quickly, are there any Christmas games of any note? I mean, most prominently coming to my mind, Christmas Nights. Fantastic festive edition of the
good.
Nights game on the Saturn.
I know a great one. The opening level of one of the best games ever made, Uncharted 2. Yeah,
Well, that's more snow than
Just a bit snowy.
That's Christmas.
Snow does not always... Is it Christmas every day in Russia? No.
I'd include a lot if we just encounter snow.
I do kind of find Metal Gear Solid a bit Christmassy though, so I'm going to let Mac have that.
There you go. See?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let him have that.
No.
Because it's just snow.
Christmas Angry Birds.
Snow equals Christmas for me.
Christmas Angry Birds, the fantastic Dreamcast game, Toy Commander had a Christmas level that came in a demo disc on the front cover of official Dreamcast magazine.
I was a big fan of Toy
One of the
Commander.
days of disc-based demos, they were brilliant.
So just like the absence of like Christmas number ones these days, or rather, specific Christmas songs, as there seemed to be an abundance of in the 70s, we need some more Christmas games.
Yeah.
Please.
Or at least like updates and levels for Christmas games.
Festive, what's it actually called? Festive Holiday Birds? Angry Christmas Birds.
Besmirched Festive Birds.
Halloween Irate Christmas Birds.
Yep.
How different is it from normal Angry Birds, though?
They got hats on. Santa hats.
Pretty much. It's more levels, it's more content, and it's themed.
I imagine music to be more jingly, a bit more
Yeah,
Christmassy jingle.
They tend to do this sort of thing in MMOs as well. Stuff like World of Warcraft always
Yeah.
has a Christmas tree in one of the
And
main
obviously
cities.
you
You get snowballs and you can throw them at people.
Animal Crossing as well did that.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing is a good Christmas
Yeah,
thing.
good shout.
The mod community probably does loads of like Half-Life and Quake and all that.
Yeah.
So, but Yeah, we want I want to play Black Ops Christmas, little cheeky Christmas level, just
Christmas DLC.
chuck it out there.
The world of DLC has now opened up this possibility
Definitely.
to a ridiculous extent. You know, back then, like I said, we had a Christmas Toy Commander thing on a demo disc, but now, for a couple of gamer points, make everything that I own festive for a month, please.
There's money to be had in that. So
surely
Get on it.
the great game Peggle must have had some kind of Christmas theme. I mean, we've had always ahead of the curve. I would have assumed they'd have had a Christmas Peggle.
they've got a Half-Life theme.
They've got a Half-Life Peggle, which is pretty good. That's quite Christmassy.
Do they?
Yeah, there's a Half-Life theme. Yeah,
If
it's
you
got
buy
like,
Only on PC only.
yeah, if you bought it on Steam, you got the Half-Life. It was 10 levels of Peggle. Head crab themed.
it's brilliant.
What?
Head crab shaped.
Have you got it, Steve?
No, because I've only got it on the PlayStation, but I've seen it and it just looks great.
That sucks. And the head crabs in PC Meat Boy.
Where's our God of War Peggle?
PC Meat Boy's getting better and better. Have you heard about the feud with Peter?
Oh yeah.
That was brilliant. You not heard about this?
Oh yeah.
What?
Meat Boy versus Peter.
No, go on.
Peter, the protection of animal. I don't know. What's the
They made my favourite lady Beyonce very sad. Go on.
There you go. Yeah. They've taken issue with Meat Boy. Which contains no references, no allusions to meat eating or sort of murder of animals. Just the main character is a piece of meat.
Yeah, if anything, it's like heroic.
And they've sort of parodied Meat Boy as in Super Tofu Boy, who is much more attractive than Meat Boy, has better breath than Meat Boy, lasts longer during intercourse than Meat Boy. That's one of the genuine things they put.
God.
And they made a little flash game, which apparently was pretty good.
Well, they've got a bit of a chip on their shoulder, don't
But
they?
haven't they responded to me?
They've hit back.
Beautiful.
They put Tofu Boy in Meat Boy in the PC version
That's
in a
one of the
patch,
characters.
and they've made him the worst character in the game. He can't complete first level. You can't jump up onto the ledge.
We're not there yet, but that's just got to make Meat Boy Game of the Year instantly, isn't it? That's
It's
just
like-
an amazing thing to do.
It's like hip hop beefs coming to the world of gaming.
It's brilliant.
I like it.
Good work.
Nice. It goes to show that if you start up an organisation like Peter, you really have to go at great lengths to clutch at straws sometimes to think of stuff to do for your organisation. Because it'd probably been a couple of quiet months. It's like, what's out? I don't know. Google the word meat. Super Meat Boy. What's that? Don't care. Let's do Tofu Boy. And next.
Slammed. Meat Boy, slammed. Done.
This podcast is supposed to be festively themed, so I've got many great Christmas game memories that make me feel warm inside. Games and Christmas go together very well.
Tell us some.
If you're kind of lucky enough to have a Santa who is
Caring family.
yeah. So
What?
I mean, my first one is Christmas '92 when I got my Mega Drive after months of pleading after seeing it around a friend's house with Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and to complete the trilogy, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Hey.
What better present could you have got? That Christmas?
Oh my days, indeed, sir. And I was already playing on my BBC Micro before that, but Mega Drive kicked it all off for me, really. Sega Genesis for you American listeners, of which there are no doubt loads listening to this
God, yeah,
podcast.
absolutely.
But yeah, so that's Christmas '92, and then fast forward to Christmas '96 when I received my Japanese Nintendo 64. Didn't even know what it was.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think of the N64 controller when it came out of the box. As James McNerney's told us in the past, you need 3 hands to play on it.
You do indeed.
But
Really.
I was
Does
just
look like a sex toy.
I get it out of the box and I'm like, this isn't a PlayStation. I had no idea what it was. Fired it up. Fired up Wave Race 64, and that water hit me square in the face. My life had changed from then on. I had gone from a Mega Drive to that. It was quite a leap into 3D gaming. Just phenomenal in every sense of the word. A very, very happy set of Christmas memories. Steve, you got a look in your eye that says, I want to bring the mood down somewhat.
Yeah, I have a less happy.
Is that
Christmas
Buzz
memory.
Killington over there?
Well, my main, it was around I think it might be like my 13th, 14th birthday, I forget when it came out, but my birthday's a week before Christmas, so anyone wants to send any happy birthday emails, feel free, but
Exactly a week, is it?
it is exactly a week. So I often, when I was young, used to have like, some slumber parties with my mates, a few beers.
It had a name, it was Edstock.
Edstock was the name. It was quite well known. Have a few beers, play games, and whilst round, I had like a 14-inch Bush telly, and we'd brought it up, set it downstairs with the Dreamcast. And one of my friends, he walked across the telly, the wire, pulled it, dropped it onto the Dreamcast, slam. But no one was playing the Dreamcast at the time, and we weren't playing the Dreamcast the rest of the day, and I just sort of drunkenly put the telly back. Telly seemed fine. Dreamcast, put it back. I was like, alright, well, learn. That's a bit silly. Week later, Christmas Day comes around. I get Shenmue 2 for Christmas. Now, Shenmue 1 was one of my favourite ever games at that time. Shenmue 1 was brilliant. Couldn't wait for Shenmue 2. I get it all excited. I'm I can't wait. Little Edwards gets there, he opens it up, looking at great 4 discs and all that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Put it in, open my Dreamcast. Put it in. That seems a bit close to the actual bit of the Dreamcast. Top of the Dreamcast was completely crushed inside. This is on Christmas Day. I was like, what am I going to do?
Disaster.
Couldn't do anything.
How old are you?
Well, however old I was, Shenmue 2 came out. So
You probably shouldn't admit that bit. You said you were
We're
drunk.
talking Christmas. This is Christmas 2001.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, Chris has said to me, I should have got money off him, but when...
Well, I mean, regardless of that advice, you're talking about Christmas morning. That's when you discover it.
That's the
Can
soul
it get
craving.
worse? Merry Christmas, listeners! RGF's goatee. If you don't know what that means, then you shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Is that your personal goatee that you have on your face right now?
Oh yeah, I know I've got a natural face warmer on right now, but Ready Game Fire's Game of the Year musings, let's say.
Sure.
Yeah, Ready Game Fire's Game of the Year musings is what we've now landed on, and amidst all these professional websites discussing what they believe is the Game of the Year, what's got the greatest graphics, greatest soundtrack, greatest atmosphere, greatest character.
Peggle. Sorry, mate, you do go on. Sorry.
Game of the year every year.
Peggle's my favourite character.
Yeah.
Just obviously my favourite character after Sergeant
Woods.
Frank Woods.
Remember me?
But yeah, I mean, basically, we're just going to kind of touch on what each of us think deserves to be, what would we say is Game of the Year. So,
Well, Chris, do you want to start? What's your game of the year then?
thanks, James. Well, Heavy Rain. Yeah,
Yep, good game.
Heavy Rain.
Game in the loosest sense of the words.
Oh, unbelievable.
Kicking off.
So we'll start with Heavy Rain. Unbelievable atmosphere.
Yeah. It's
Innovative way to use a controller. I've never been getting my arms twisted up while trying to press 8 buttons and using my nose to make sure a character doesn't get caught in an electric beam. It was incredible. Coupled with that kind of innovative use of the DualShock, you've got the fact that if a character dies, he dies.
Yeah.
Never before. I mean, how many times have I seen Mario die? Must be in 1,000. Well, I mean, I've seen other people kill him. I'm still like in double figures in terms of Mario deaths. But I mean, you lose a character in Heavy Rain, they are gone for the rest of the game. So it's a big deal. So involved, so drawn into that world. I cut off my finger. It was bloody great. Yeah.
It's I enjoyed it a lot.
It's one of the most memorable moments of the year, I think.
But
that trial.
I would say it's for Game of the Year. I mean, it's got a lot of flaws. Like, with when you first play it, you think, oh, I'm going to be able to, like, you do certain things. You're like, oh, but I wonder if I go back and if I change that, what would happen? What direction the story going? And then you realise it pretty much at times it forces you can only do one thing. Like, you can't really muck up something. It's only the deaths.
Yeah, the several paths sort of
It all
come
comes
into
to
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping there would be more of a kind of, if I leave this light on and leave my house, next time I wake up from one of my ridiculous blackouts, is the world going to be amidst a nuclear winter because that light I left on? Yeah, a few more consequences would have been nice. So yeah, my vote goes for Heavy Rain. But I have to give another game a nod, just because of the sheer amount I've played it this year and because of how amazing it is. Super Street Fighter 4.
Did Street Fighter 4 come out like a couple of years ago now?
Super Street Fighter 4 came out this year.
Not a big difference from a Street Fighter 4 though, is it?
Well, it's an update in an incremental sense, if that's what you mean.
So it
But
could have been a patch.
But at the end of the day, it's the ultimate version of Street Fighter 4.
Okay, you read the back of the box, but how's it ultimate? It's just
You read the back of the box.
A couple of new stages, could have done DLC for that,
So come on then, McNumpty, what be your game of the year?
Probably something that actually deserves it. It would be Red Dead Redemption.
Minor step up from Revolver, then off you go.
Huge step up, massive game. It's It's been a couple of years since we've seen GTA, so it's nice to have a GTA-esque game in the
GTA
Wild
on
West.
How could we possibly have a couple of years without a Grand Theft Auto game?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus
If
Christ.
we can get yearly instalments of Street Fighter,
we
then
had-
why not get yearly instalments of GTA?
We had Gay Tony, we had Lost and Damned.
Different themes, different game.
Same city.
Totally different city.
Wow.
Different themes.
We are
Yeah, different
talking
thing.
about Red Dead though, not Grand Theft Auto. So different city and all this.
You've shot yourself in the foot there with your old style cowboy gun.
Nope, same engine, different game. So it's all good. Yeah,
GTA on horses.
I don't remember killing any animals in GTA or having that awesome little ending scene, which I won't avoid spoiling. But yeah,
Oh, it's brilliant, the ending.
yep,
Nice.
it is. There you go.
Brilliant.
Wouldn't know.
What else do you love about Red Dead Redemption Revolver GTA Part 7?
There's just so much content to it. You know, if you felt like it, just jump on a horse, go run out in the countryside, shoot a couple of bears, or get mauled by a cougar somewhere, and then come back to town and do a few missions, maybe play a couple of hands of blackjack. So loads of content there, something for everyone.
Before it came out, I was looking forward to it a lot. I was watching Deadwood at the time, so I was like, oh,
That's
I
brilliant.
love my westerns here, so I'll play Red Dead. And at first, I did get into it quite a lot, but it just did drag after a while. And when I got to Mexico, and I was under no illusion. I didn't think, nearing the climax of this game. I knew I had a long slog left. And the way I play those kind of games, I was doing all the little hunting missions and all the things like that. And then, about middle of me playing that game, my game of the year came out, and it just made me stop playing it. I had no need for Red Dead anymore.
So I'm going to join Max Connor here and stick up for Red Dead a little bit.
Go on.
One of the best games of the year. This will be a laugh, will it, eh, Chris? Is that what you mean? Right.
It is a very, 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 very good game.
It is. Well, it is, yeah. 100% of it. Spent quite a while in there, doing all the every little side quest.
Hunting, bounties as well.
Bounties as well, everything, even the flower picking.
Yep.
I imagine you had like your favourite gaming moments of the year.
Oh, well, we won't go into.
Type in
The story.
IGN.com and
Yeah, the story.
But yeah,
You got to get back on that.
the story is superb,
One of the best endings this year as well.
definitely.
I like I just said, Red Dead is a fantastic game. Personally, for me, it's not special enough for me to be game of the year. For me, this is an opinion podcast.
Sure.
Stop getting annoyed, listener.
Yeah, but you're wrong, Chris.
Oh God. But yeah, James, closing comments on why Red Dead Redemption is your game of the year 2010. Ready, game, fire, endorsed. Off you go.
Because it was a great game.
Terrific.
That's what needs to be said, pretty much.
that's all it is. That's all it needs, isn't it?
Truly epic.
I
Just
stand corrected.
like Heavy Rain.
All right. Well, my game, I briefly mentioned that this game interrupted my playing of Mac's game of the year, and that was when Super Mario Galaxy 2 arrived at my door. The most joyous computer game I've ever played. Everything about it is brilliant. I mean, I've heard people criticise saying it's perhaps too similar to Galaxy 1, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, what's wrong with more of the same when the same is the greatest thing to ever happen
Exactly.
to anybody
Pure fun
anywhere?
on a
Exactly.
disc. There you go.
No one really complained about Super Mario Bros. 2 or Super Mario Bros. 3 being similar to the first one.
Exactly.
All three were great games. Why can't Mario Galaxy 2 be another great?
I'll tell you, I mean, they basically went by the theory, they know what they're doing in the Mario games. Years ago, Mario 3, perfection, and they thought, well, how do we make it better? Chuck a green dinosaur in there. 15 years later, they made perfection in Galaxy 1. How do you make it better? Chuck the same green dinosaur in, and it works. Yoshi was so good in
Every
Galaxy
time.
2.
Some amazing levels with Yoshi as well.
It's brilliant, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
a joy to ride in, right? They got it wrong in, I think it was in Sunshine. I never really played it, but I seem to recall
Barely
it.
Yeah,
was,
it was in Sunshine, but
64 DS, I think.
less said about Sunshine the better. But it sounds to me like, Steve, is exactly what you needed. You're stuck in the mires of bland orange Mexico.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, you're slingshotted into space to in the most cosmically crazy caper to happen this side of Spaceballs.
It had it all. And
I'm still working through the first one, actually. I've not got to the second one at all yet. So
that's it. I mean, I think the brilliance of the first one, you'll get to the end, you'll be like, you are in that envious position, I want more, and bam, there's a game
right
waiting.
there.
My other game of the year, I'm going to have another one. Chris had two, I can have two.
Well, I gave a nod, but carry on.
Alright, well, and this is Max as well, we've discussed before, but God of War 3 was so much fun. I absolutely caned that game when I got it.
Amazing
Completed it
game.
on all difficulties.
I bring the destruction of a rampart.
It was, Kratos was as angry as he's ever been.
Kratos is here, everybody.
there he is.
Oh, here he is.
No, he's not.
And, I mean, looks better than anything that's ever been in any games console. Right? That's
One
for
of
sure.
the best boss battles ever as well. Poseidon, very beginning of the game.
I was a big fan of the
Amazing
Kronos one.
battle. Yep, Kronos is another good little.
And,
Horses got me down a bit, but yeah.
Let's not forget Aphrodite.
Oh,
God.
never looked better.
Tits.
And then
How does he do
the
it?
Handmaidens, yeah. It was
Kids should definitely not be watching this.
ticked all boxes in that one.
There you go.
So yeah, God of War 3's up there for me.
I prefer seeing Kratos take on sandwiches.
Yep, that is an amazing video as well. Inspired beautifully by God of War 3. But yeah, I think
Steve, you've convinced me. I'm going to go with your picks.
yeah, excellent.
My game of the year is Demon Souls.
Good choice.
Demon Souls.
Yes, Steve. Demon Souls. Released on 25th of June this year. So
Everyone should know Demon Souls. That was my review for it in the first episode.
yeah.
Full of features and details.
No pause, we remember. Do go on, Jamie, sorry.
Yeah, but I know a few people take issue with the fact that well, they played it the American version, which went a ridiculously long time ago when America imported it. And
Well, they didn't think it was going to come here, did they? So
Exactly.
a lot of people, myself and Mac included,
Indeed, yeah.
imported it. And yeah, so that's why it's hard game to include in Game of the Year.
I was on I did the IGN and GameSpot UK, both UK polls of the Game of the Year, and it was on neither of those. So either they don't differentiate between UK and US polls, or they've done the same thing and just written it off. Quite upset about that.
I mean,
Quite honest, really.
it did do well last year in the Game of the Year.
It did, yeah, it
so,
did. I think it actually did get Game of the Year on GameSpot.
Yeah. Kotaku as well put it up there with Uncharted. Right,
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's the atmosphere and
there are problems with it.
well, like you say, we know your opinion on this.
Well, yeah, my problem basically being my
Lack of skill.
lack of understanding of really
Lack
ever
of thumbs.
I put 20 hours into that game.
20 hours?
20 hours, yeah. My I didn't feel like I progressed much. Like I mean, people were saying to me, you two were saying, oh, play the game. After a bit, it does get a lot easier. But I still died every level, stupid amount of times. Okay, maybe I'm just shit at the game, but it became less and less enjoyable. I had Mike, Muck and Power, whispering in my ear all the time, saying, "Just give up, Steve. It's alright. It's not."
Mr. Bronze.
Mr. Bronze,
Bronze
and he was right. I was a
really.
lot happier man when I finally decided I'm done with Demon Souls. It's enjoyable up to a point, but when you keep on, like, you spend about an hour and a half slowly getting to a boss, you work out, and then you get to him, and he crushes you in one, and then I've got to do that hour and a half again, and I haven't learned anything from the boss. I'm not going to get to the boss and have a tactic. I'm just going to get there and then probably get crushed again, and that's just
Something that's
too much.
in quite a few of the levels is the shortcuts. Make
Not all the levels, though.
Well, not all of them. That's right. Yeah,
And there
but,
are some really long levels.
Modern games seem to be criticised for being too easy, but I think Demon Souls has maybe gone a little bit too extremely in the opposite direction.
I disagree.
I wouldn't say it was difficult.
Also, please can I pause the game? Oh no, you can't.
I disagree. I think it's just because we play in so many easy games, so used to being able to instant save whenever you want to, that it's kind of dumbed down our skills and
See, I don't
we're actually
think it's
capable of doing it in games.
particularly difficult as such. I just think you need patience to slowly work. If you just sprint through willy-nilly, nimbly-bimbly, then you're going to get chopped down like a little bitch. But yeah, I mean, I love that game. It's definitely my game of the year.
I should probably play it.
Well, yeah.
It is a fantastic game. Like, I'd just be lying if I said it wasn't a brilliant game. It's just there's a reason that I did fall out of
fair
love
enough.
with it.
It's not everyone's cup of tea,
Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, when you get into it, and the sense of progression that's in there, the crafting you do on the weapons, all this sort of thing, and even the community, where the community works, like you share like little tidbits of info. Like, oh, don't use that soul on
That
this.
is pretty.
Use it on something else. Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I really liked that when I was informed of that.
I was a big fan.
Sounds awesome.
Oh, the blood marks and stuff like that. Yeah.
I was a big fan of the. I never got there, but you just told me about it. The fact that one of the bosses he summons another online player,
Oh, that
and
was
you have to
brilliant.
fight, and that's just
That's
a
one of my highlights of the game.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Does that happen for reals?
Yeah,
It does,
that's
yeah.
one of
And
the
you can
features.
play as the guy who is summoned.
Whoa!
And if you get okay, it's all a bit confusing. So
Sounds it.
yeah, there's a boss who is another player. you, after you beat him, in turn, can be the boss against another player. And if you beat him, you win.
To be the boss,
pretty good-
woo, you've got to beat the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a...
So let's mix it up and see if we can agree between all four of us what should be Ready Game Fire's pick for Game of the Year.
Super Meat Boy.
It might... well, in all seriousness, it might have to be one
That we haven't
that we've all not chosen.
It's interesting.
Oh, you've
Very
got
skewed.
We don't agree on much, let's be honest. We've done a fair bit of arguing already.
Yeah. Galaxy 2 we seem to all kind of agree on, but you haven't played it really. You haven't played it all, in fact.
Well, I played one. Does that count? Don't think it does.
No.
So yeah, Civilization... no, Minecraft. There we go. Done.
Minecraft.
Next.
Peggle is always...
Peggle's Game of the Year every year, so that's that.
Civilization 5. There we go. No one discussed it. No one mentioned it.
I was about to. So.
It's going to go to Red Dead, isn't it?
Actually, we all love GT5.
Yes, we
There you
do.
go.
All big fans. We love playing each other online. It's
I think that's
great
been
fun.
cruelly
And
left out of-
It's a slap in the face of the previous week's podcast as well. So
Yeah.
I'm well
The
up for
naysayers.
GT5, the official Ready Game Fire Game of the Year. Plus, someone has to vote. I've seen the award nominations on IGN and everything.
Exactly,
They
so I'm just
completely
saying.
ignore it. They don't even have a driving award this year. I think just so they don't have to put it in there. I'm pretty sure. It's ridiculous.
Alright, fine, fuck it. Ready Game Fire's official Game of the Year, Gran Turismo 5. We got some more emails in from listeners who want answers from the experts, and that's us, or rather, we seem to be here in place of said experts. But got an email here. This is from Ronnie Kane. It says, "Hey Chris and super special guests," that's you guys. "I'm having a gathering over the Christmas holidays. Would it be possible to advise me on some great Christmas games I could buy to make my party a winner? A top 5 would be great. Smiley face. I appreciate your feedback. Kind regards, Ronnie Kane." So, Christmas party games to play.
Hey, Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie.
Yep, Ronnie. Good to hear
How
from
you
you.
doing?
All right.
Thanks for writing in.
So he wants a quick, concise list of the greatest party games to play over Christmas. Rock Band 3.
Ron, I'd suggest a Mario Party game.
I was
Maybe
just
Mario
about to
Party
say that.
4
Yep.
is my favourite one.
Topple. Topple's pretty good. If you've got a spare 4 PlayStation moves lying around and friends that are willing to play.
Is that Tumble?
No, it's is it Tumble?
Yeah.
I think it might be.
Topple. Oh, I'm thinking there's an iPhone app called Topple. Okay. Very similar. So yeah,
Tumble sounds good.
Tumble. Experts, you said, Chris?
Or if you can't, if you don't have Move and you've got a Wii, Boomblocks, Bash Party is where you should be heading towards.
Yep, absolutely.
James, what gets the party started in your house and in your
Already got
pants?
mentioned from me. I would definitely recommend Mario Party. Amount of mini games and everything in there. One of the good uses for the Wii at Christmas.
There you go.
Jumping back to Move very quickly, I get a lot of fun out of Start the Party. Start the Party, augmented reality Move game. I've played on it not extensively, but enough to know that it's fun in the party atmos.
Does it live up to its name?
The party was started immediately.
It's
Yeah.
good for you trophy whores out there, because
Oh my god, the easiest
Jeez,
trophies
Louise.
ever. Get that
About-
game just for that. It's really cheap as well.
10 silvers, 3
Probably rent
golds,
it.
and for Might Power about 15 bronzes in the space of about an hour.
Yeah, give it a rent.
So,
There's
yeah.
even how fitting is this? There's a trophy for playing it on Christmas Day.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, spot on.
So we're talking top 5 party games. Rock Band 3, Mario Party, 4 if you've got a choice.
Topple Tumble.
Tumble,
Topple or Tumble?
Tumble slash
Take your pick.
Tumble slash Boomblocks for number 3. 4 we're saying Start the Party, and 5
Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. I'm going to chuck it out there. 4 people, get some Peggle going. I've been mentioning it a lot this podcast,
a good
but
one, actually.
Peggle's a great little game. If you-
we can sprinkle a bit of Peggle, WarioWare on top.
WarioWare's a good one.
There is another game that escapes me.
Wii Sports is a classic party game.
That's the
Wii Sports
fallback,
for
isn't
sure.
it?
It's always, I mean, everyone's going to have a copy of Wii Sports.
Anything on a Wii.
Yeah.
And that failing that, Twister.
What's up?
We got another question from Dark Malamore. Hi guys, my name is Dark Malamore. Mark Dallamore's third biggest fan.
He was on the show last week, wasn't he?
Mark's got 3 fans.
3 fans.
Just wanted to know your best gaming moment in the last 10 years.
Oh wow.
Also, what's the craziest thing you've ever done?
We'll come back to the second question Joe, in a minute. Best gaming moment in the last 10 years.
I know what mine would be. God of War 1, doing the challenge of the gods, and
Very good.
reaching the last one, and then thinking, oh god, I'm never going to do this. And sat there another 20-25 minutes and nailed it. And absolutely worth it. Gold trophy, fantastic.
It'll be quite short-sighted since we've been thinking of games of the year. I know there's a certain part of Heavy Rain. I don't know. Should we touch on?
Well,
I was going to mention the sex.
Not that.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Gutter-minded.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the Lizard Trial.
oh yeah, that one is.
Anyone who's familiar with it will know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spoilers. You cut off a finger.
I've got a more
It's great,
older
though.
one. Big moment in games in general, but Gravity Gun in Half-Life 2.
Oh,
Pretty
revolution.
damn amazing.
oh yeah.
Changed everything, and the rest of the game is just a joy. It's just from that point on, experiment with whatever you like.
Getting my head cut off in Resident Evil 4 by a chainsaw.
Yep.
Oh,
Everyone was just shitting their pants from that.
Felt like it was happening to me
Yeah.
or a close
It's a
relative.
great one.
It's the second best thing.
And that's actually the craziest thing I've ever done, coincidentally. Cut off a close relative's head with a chainsaw.
Crazy thing I've ever done is cut off my own finger.
I bungee jumped. Mac?
that's pretty crazy. Pretty karate related. Going into tournament against black belts.
I would have said 100% in Fallout 3
Twice.
on Xbox and PS3.
You haven't seen Resident Evil 5 then? That got platinums as well.
Jesus.
Anyway, moving on.
As part of this being a festive podcast, we got a present for you, the listeners. If you answer the following question correctly and you are drawn out of the hat as the winner, you will win a code for the full game of Football Manager 2011 for PSP. You can play that on your PSP Go or your PSP Normal. So the question is as follows. In a previous Ready Game Fire episode, what did Dan Afflis wish all games were a derivative of? Alright? I would repeat the question, but it's a podcast. Rewind it. You know the email address with which to submit the answers to, but here it is again. It's readygamefire@gmail.com. Like I said, out of all the successful entries, we will pick one at random, and you will be rewarded with that code. And I'll email it to you personally. So, yeah, not too bad, right? All this free entertainment, plus the chance of Football Manager for your PSP.
What could you want?
Thank you very much for listening to the Christmas edition of Ready Game Fire, Merry Game Fire. The email address with which to send your questions as Dark and what was his name? Ronnie did is readygamefire@gmail.com. Please subscribe on iTunes if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends to subscribe on iTunes. Rate us, leave us a review. You don't have to 5-star us, not that you would, but be honest. But make sure you leave a review or a rating of some kind. Donate if you can. There's a donation button on the website, and like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter. That's twitter.com/ReadyGameFire. We're going away for a short Christmas break. I know the breaks in between episodes have not always been kind of consistent, but we're having a short Christmas break here, and you're going to have to deal with that. To close out the podcast is some beautiful music from Christmas Nights, but in the meantime it's goodbye from me, Chris Fox, goodbye from Stephen Edwards, goodbye from James McNerney,
See you later.
and a cheerio from Jamie Rathbone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas from all of us here at Ready Game Fire. Hey, good night, bye bye.
In a dream I could see you are not far away. Anytime, any place, I can see your face. You're that special one that I've been waiting for, and I hope you're looking for someone like me. In my dreams, I can hear you calling me in the night. Everything is so sweet in your eyes. I feel there's so much inside. Oh yeah. In the night, dream delight. I want to see you standing there. In the night, dream delight. I found someone who really cares. In a dream we can do everything we want to. There's nowhere I'd rather be but here with you. The stars above light the way only for you and I'm so glad I found the one I've been looking for. Keep the dream of the one you're hoping for. Love can come through an open door. Just be strong, and you're sure to find the one. Find the way in the night. Delight. I want to see you standing there in the night. Dream delight. I found someone who really cares. In the night, dream delight. I want to see you smile.